heart was racing. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to talk about how in my first video I didn't realize it until after I posted my video about how low I was talking. And that was only because my son was asleep in the crib and I just didn't want to be too loud and wake him up, because you know, once you put him down, it's like kind of like a relief, like okay, I gotta get stuff done. And then when they wake up automatically, it's like, oh my gosh, now I just gotta push things more back and, you know, wait a bit longer to do things. So yeah, so with that being said, I'll be sure to speak up louder in the video, just because one, he is awake and he is right here too, and I'll be sure to speak up so I can be heard more easily. So with that being said, let's go and get started into the video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I told my family I was pregnant, which can be one of the hardest things to say when you find out. Not even it can be, it actually is, at least in my case it was. Like, I was just more so nervous to tell my family, because you know, it's new news, you know, it's not just exciting to bring somebody into this world, but I mean, it's nerve-wracking because you're going to be a new parent, and you know, there's just a lot to learn. So with that, the first person, not really the first person actually, me telling my fiance at the time was hard because, like I said in my first video, he lived in La Puente and I lived in Long Beach at the time, and so I felt like it was better to wait and tell him until I seen him in person. Therefore, that being said, I had to wait a week in order to tell him, because I wasn't able to see him until that weekend, just because our schedules, we both worked, and it's just easier to see each other on the weekend because we both had time off on the weekends. So that was the longest week I've ever had to wait for, I will say. It was so hard because I wanted to tell him so bad so many times throughout that week. Even when I confirmed it at the doctor's that I was, it was so hard not to. I was even texting him in the moment, like I said in my first video, when I was taking the test. I was texting him in the moment, and I remember him asking me, what am I doing? And I just told him, like, oh, I'm just watching a movie with my brother. Because normally I would watch movies with my brother a lot, when I did live at my dad's house. So when that weekend finally came and I went to his house, I had this whole thing planned out. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna get like this gift bag, and I'm just gonna show it to him, like, as far as like, I'm just gonna get another pregnancy test and pee on it, and then just prove it, you know, just be like, well, here it is, this is what I had to tell you. I did tell him within that week that I had something to tell him, and he kept trying to get it out of me, like kept trying to get me to give him hints and stuff, but I'm really like not good with that, so I just kept telling him, like, you'll wait, just wait and find out, you'll wait and find out. So I got this like little gift bag, and I put like this red bow in it. And so I remember getting to his house and I was so nervous. I was so nervous that the time actually finally came and it was time to actually tell him. So I got to his house, I said hi to his family, and normally we would just hang out. So I went to the bathroom and I unripped the test, and it came with 2. So I peed on both of them, and mind you, I remember his brother having to use the bathroom, and so he told me to hurry up because his brother really had to go. And so I was trying to rush and do everything, and again, I peed on one of the sticks and messed up the first one. So the second one, I peed on like both of them, but one I actually peed on like basically the whole thing, so it didn't work. And so then I was like just praying that the other one did work, which it did, thankfully. So I threw the wrappers in the trash can, but I kept the box. And so I put the box in my purse, and I had the gift bag in my purse as well. So I went to my fiance's room, and I'll just say his name is AJ. So I went to his room, and I had made sure he wasn't in there. I don't remember where he was at in the house, but he was just somewhere in the house. And so I had closed the door, and then I had put the box with both tests in it, hoping that eventually it would work. One of the tests did work, but the other one I was just like, whatever, he'll most likely grab the one that did work. If he, I don't know, I just thought that he would just pick the one that did work. I don't know why. Just pick it. Oh, look, this one. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, so I put both tests in the box, and I put it in the bag. I also had bought this card saying, like, you know, you're gonna be a dad, surprise. So I put that in the bag, and I taped the bag shut. And so then I just waited, and he finally came inside, and I was like, here's your surprise. And my heart was racing at that point. When I had handed him the bag, my heart was pounding. And I actually got a video of it. So in this video, I actually have the clip. So I will click the, I would add the clip in the video. So here it is.
The guy's gonna be here.
I don't know what you're gonna open first, but whatever.
What's it? What is it? You're really making me nervous.
Look in the box. Oh, that one probably wasn't the one who worked. I'm pregnant.
So that is how I told him. In the video, you do hear us like both like sniffling a little bit. It's because we were both like we're crying. Him crying just made me cry. I guess like we were both just like super emotional. Like, oh my gosh, that was a surprise, and I had to tell you. So after telling him, I guess his mom like saw the wrappers in the trash, and she already knew. And I walked out of the room. I guess she had asked him already before. Like I came out of the room, and then he was just all like, yeah, it's true. So when I came out of the room, his mom was all like, so are you pregnant? And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And his family was very supportive. I mean, they really are, and I thank them so much, and I love them so much because his family is amazing, and they've always been there for us and always just supported our relationship. And like I said, they're just amazing people, and I really do love them for that. I remember his mom just saying, you know, it's something new. I mean, you guys are gonna be new parents, so it's on you. I'm only gonna be the grandma. I can only do so much. And basically, you gotta be ready for it. Bless you, puppy. Bless you. Sorry. And so yeah, that's how they found out. As far as telling my dad and my family, so I still had to go, you know, back home and all that. I thought about it so many times how to tell my dad. I remember I was more nervous to tell my dad because like I said in my other video, my dad was kind of strict. I mean, not very like stern and like very like strict on us, but I mean, he was just like, what girl isn't afraid of telling their dad that they're pregnant? It's always like I said, nerve-wracking. I mean, especially telling your dad. So I thought about many ways to do this, and so I just talked to my brother about it so many times, and him just saying, you know, just go tell dad, like, you need to tell him. So I was like, okay. So one day I don't remember exactly what day I told him, but I remember just going into his room because he was laying on his bed and watching TV. So I sat on his bed, and I came in the room, and I closed the door. And so then, like, I was just like, he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And so just making like casual conversation before I got into it, because I didn't want to just jump into it because I was really nervous, like I said. So I guess my dad already knew something was up because he like sat up and muted the TV. And so like when I get nervous, I just start laughing like crazy. Like I just start laughing and I can't get it out of what I'm trying to say. And so he just started like smiling at me like what's wrong with you? Like, what's up? And so I basically just said like, do you know how you told me that I can tell you anything, right? And he was like, yeah. What is it? And I was like, well, I'm pregnant. And I said it so fast, and he was just like, you're what? And like he like looked at me like, and he smiled because like he was like, did I just hear what I think I heard? And I was just like, I'm pregnant. And like I just got really nervous. I just got really nervous, and I was like, yeah. My dad did take it easy, like really well. And I was shocked. I was really shocked. But he just asked me a couple questions. He was just all like, you know, why do you think that? And I was like, I don't think it. I know I am. Because not only did one day I just felt weird and just, I felt different. My body just feeling different. Like a girl knows how her body is. And I took tests and then, you know, they all came up positive. And then I went to the doctors and then they said that it was positive. So it's like, I am. So basically that was that. And he told me, you know, it's going to be tough and that he wished that we would have been more careful about it. But, you know, he's here for us. And that I should go tell my stepmom myself before she finds out on her own. And so I was like, okay. So my stepmom was in the kitchen and she was, I believe she was either cooking or cleaning the kitchen. I think she was cooking because it was around dinner time. So I went to the kitchen and my brother was in there already. And my brother already knew that I was going to tell my dad and my stepmom. So I went to the kitchen and like I said, I was like already nervous of telling her. And so my heart was racing and like I just started smiling and I leaned against the counter and I was like, hey woman. And she's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, so I have something to tell you guys. And she was like, what? And she already knew. And I was like, well, I'm pregnant. And she's like, I knew it. She's like, I can tell by the way that you were acting lately. You've been acting different. And I just had a feeling something was up. So I was like, well, that's it. So they took it easy. As far as telling my mom and my stepdad and like my mom's side of the family, it's talking up a storm here. So telling my mom, I remember I told her like, you know, I want us to go out to breakfast or lunch basically, and I had something to tell you guys. I mean, I loved hanging out with my mom and them, like, but we rarely ever like went out like that. So I guess like she already had a feeling something was up as well. Even though I tried to play it off like nothing was wrong. So we went out to Acapulco, and it's a good restaurant, at least I think. So we went there, and my little sisters were there, and AJ was there too. And I was like, you need to be there for me to tell my mom. So we got this card that basically explained like you're gonna be a grandma, and I just thought that she would take it more easier if I put in these coupons for like this chicken salad that she likes. I believe it was from like Carl's Jr. or something like that. But yeah, I just thought she would take it easier. I don't know why. It's like, let me just throw that in there. So, we have lunch and everything, and I was just eating like such a variety of things. I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. My little sisters had to go too, so I took both of them with me. And one of them is 7, and one of them is gonna be 8 this year. So last year they were 6 and 7. So, I went to the bathroom and like I just felt so sick. I got this like random feeling of sickness and I just started throwing up. After we used the bathroom and everything, my little sisters kept asking me like, are you okay? You threw up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I call them devils. I was like, I'm fine, devils. It's nothing. So when we get back to my mom, they tell her, Mom, Mia threw up, because they already understand everything, you know. And so mom just looked at me and I was like, oh, it's just because of all the random stuff that I was eating, because I really was eating just like a whole variety of different things. So it's like a buffet, I guess. And so the last thing I ate was soup, and I guess that kind of like didn't react well with my stomach. So when we sat down, basically when we finished eating, and my heart was racing. I did not want to pull out the card out of my purse, but like AJ was just like, give it to her. And so I was like shaking kind of, because I was like just really nervous, like I said. So I take out the envelope and I hand it to my mom, and my mom like opens it and she's staring at it for a good while. Actually, I guess she's trying to process like, what she's like realized, like what she read and what she just realized, the first thing she pulled out was the coupons, and I just started laughing because I was nervous and like I was just so like, it was just funny that she just pulled that out first. And so then she pulls up the card, and like I said, she's staring at it for a cool minute, and then she's just looking at it, and then I guess she realized what it's saying, and then she just looks up at me and she says like, are you pregnant? And I was just like, yeah, I am. So I remember she just looked disappointed. Like she just got this disappointment look on her face. And her reaction was totally not the way I thought it would be. I thought she would take it easier because she had us at a young age, me and my sister. Even my brother too. She had all three of us at a young age, and so I just thought that she would more so understand, because she had me at the same age. She had me when she was 19, 20, around there, and I was 19 at the time, turning 20 later on the year. And she didn't really say anything. She just like stood quiet. And my stepdad got up and hugged us both, me and AJ, and was like, "Congratulations." So it actually really hurt me the way that my mom reacted, and I didn't really know how to react towards that. Like I said, it just kind of hurt me. So the next day, I went to work, just a normal day, because it was a Sunday when I told her. The next day, it takes me, when I used to work in Newport Beach, it would take me an hour or so to get to work because of traffic, and an hour and a half, or sometimes less, to get home. So I was right at like traffic hour. So on my way home from work, I remember my mom had called me, and she was on the phone with me the whole way home, just talking to me, saying how she was sorry the way that she reacted, and she's just gonna be there for us basically, and it just threw her off guard, and she didn't expect that, and she wanted more from us. She wanted me to continue going to school. She wanted me to continue working. She just wanted me to just stay on top of everything. And having a kid does make things a little complicated. It does kind of put a hold on things. And like I said, she had us at a young age, so she knew exactly what I was going into. But she just basically said she's sorry the way she acted, but she's gonna be there for us. And that just made me feel so much better, and just knowing the fact that I was gonna have my mom's support. With that being said, having somebody's support, regardless who it is, your grandma, your mom, your aunt, your uncle, your boyfriend, your spouse, whoever it is, it's always best to have somebody's support, somebody there for you when you're going through the process, because it is tough. You have your days where you just you don't feel good, and you just feel like you just look like the worst person in the world, and you just feel so ugly. At least in some moments I felt like I did. And you're just going through all these emotions too, and it's always really good to have somebody there. So my advice to you is, regardless of the outcome, it's always best to just be honest, because at the end of the day, regardless, you're still bringing a beautiful blessing into this world. You're gonna hit some tough times, regardless of the situation. Like I said, I still believe you got to be honest, and it's always best to just tell somebody. Because whoever it is there for you, if they stop talking to you because of that, they'll come around to the fact that they can't do anything about it. Because like I said, you're bringing a blessing into the world, and they're gonna accept what a beautiful blessing this baby is once the baby's here, if not sooner. So I wish you guys the best of luck in telling your family. If there's any new moms out there who are looking at advice on how to tell their family, I would just be honest. That's just the best thing you can do. With that being said, I just want to have you guys meet
This is my little guy, and he's 3 months old, gonna be 4. Sorry for his crazy hair. He was laying down. Do you say hi, puppy?
He's like really into his show right now. Just so crazy, because they just grow so fast, and like their mind just develops. He surprises me every day. He really does. The things that he does, he's making a lot more noises now, and trying to do everything he can for our attention. He knows he has that attention too. He's loved by everybody, and I'm glad that we have all the support from our families. Like I said, it was tough in the beginning, because not everybody reacted the same. My sister was very upset, and we actually didn't talk for a month, and we were close, but she came around to the idea, then we started talking again, and she loves him just as much as all my other family does. So it can be hard telling your family and your loved ones, but I would just strict to be honest. It's the best thing to do. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel if you are not, or if you did not do so already. And I will see you guys in my next video.